Hey, top drivers! In this video, we're going to break down how ABS works and how to use it effectively when pushing the limits on track. As most of you already know, ABS, short for anti-lock braking system, is a safety feature designed to prevent wheel lockup during hard braking. But like many other electronic aids, ABS actually started out in motorsport before making its way into road cars. The technology was first conceptualized in the 1920s and 1930s to enhance the performance of race cars. And over time, it was refined and developed further. By the 1970s, ABS found its way into production vehicles as a safety feature, with Mercedes-Benz being the first manufacturer to implement it on a road car in 1978. The knowledge gained from racing played a crucial role in perfecting the system, ultimately leading to its widespread adoption in everyday vehicles. To truly understand how ABS works, though, we need to take a step back and go over the fundamentals of braking and steering. When you press the brake pedal, hydraulic fluid is pumped through the braking system to the calipers, applying pressure to the brake pads. These pads then press against the brake discs, generating friction. This friction slows down the wheel's rotation, reducing the vehicle's speed until it comes to a complete stop. However, if the friction between the brake discs and pads exceeds the grip between the tires and the asphalt, the wheels will lock up. Causing that classic skid. Now let's talk about steering dynamics. This involves two key movements of the wheels: rotation around their own axis and movement in the car's direction of travel. Because of this, wheels have two types of speed: translational and rotational. Translational speed refers to the motion of the entire tire in the direction of travel, meaning how fast the car moves forward or backward, regardless of any rotational or lateral movement. Rotational speed, on the other hand, is how fast the tire spins around its own axis as the vehicle moves. This speed is influenced by both the car's translational speed and the tire's radius. In ideal conditions, when the tires are rolling without slipping, the wheels maintain full grip on the road surface. The key principle here is that at the contact patch between the tire and the track, the sum of translational and rotational speeds should be zero. In other words, even though both types of movement exist, the exact point where the tire meets the ground remains stationary relative to the surface. This concept is the foundation of how steering works. When you turn the wheel, the tires align in the intended direction, and since they naturally resist sliding, the car moves through rolling motion rather than skidding, ensuring stability and traction. Understanding this principle is essential to grasp why a car changes direction smoothly and predictably. When we turn the front wheels, we need to consider an important scenario. Imagine that, despite the wheels being angled, the car continues moving straight. In this case, the rolling speed of the tires will be misaligned with the vehicle's direction of travel, while the translational speed will remain straight. If we combine these two speeds, it becomes clear that the result won't be zero, leading to tire slippage and, ultimately, a loss of control. The key to preventing this slip is to ensure that the translational speed aligns with the direction of the wheel's rotation. This can only happen when the entire vehicle rotates around its instantaneous center of rotation, the point around which a car pivots when cornering. In other words, the process of adjusting the direction of translational speed to match the rotation of the wheels is what actually allows a vehicle to turn when the front wheels are steered. When this alignment is achieved, the car can follow a curved trajectory without sliding, as the sum of translational and rotational speeds at the contact patch of all four tires will be zero. Now this explains what happens when the front wheels lock up under braking. Even if the steering wheel is turned, the car will continue traveling in a straight line until it sheds enough speed. This was a much more common issue with older braking systems that lacked ABS, where at least one of the four tires would always lock up first due to continuous variations in grip between the tires and the asphalt. To prevent wheel lockup during braking, drivers had to apply pressure to the brake pedal in a pulsing manner, pressing and releasing rapidly instead of maintaining constant pressure. However, this technique relied heavily on driver skill and was prone to human error. ABS eliminates this issue by detecting the amount of slip for each individual wheel and automatically adjusting the brake pressure. If a wheel is about to lock up, a modulating unit partially releases the brake pad's grip on that specific brake disc, reducing the pressure applied. This ensures that the wheel continues to rotate intermittently during braking, preventing complete lockup and allowing the driver to maintain control. The effect of ABS is particularly noticeable in the steering. Since the wheels keep rotating in short bursts, the car remains maneuverable even under heavy braking. It's worth noting that to achieve maximum deceleration, a slight amount of tire slip is not just unavoidable, it's actually necessary. The interaction between the tire and the road surface is what generates the maximum longitudinal braking force. This is why the optimal level of wheel slip during braking is around 15%. However, steering ability depends on maximizing lateral grip between the tire and the track, which occurs with minimal slip. This creates a trade-off. As slip increases, braking force improves, but lateral grip decreases. For this reason, most ABS systems are programmed to operate within a slip range of about 8% to 30%, striking a balance between maximum deceleration and maintaining control over the car's direction. It might seem obvious, but it's worth emphasizing. Even the best ABS system in the world can't defy the laws of physics. It won't let a driver pull off impossible, sci-fi level braking maneuvers. To get the most out of ABS, it needs to be used correctly, without relying on it too much or making costly mistakes under braking. Let's analyze 3 different braking scenarios at the Variante della Roggia chicane in Monza, each with a different ABS setting. One with no ABS, one with ABS set to the maximum, and one with an optimized use of the system. Looking at the telemetry data and the graphs showing wheel rotation speed, the negative spikes clearly indicate wheel lockups. In the first scenario, without ABS, the front wheels lock up almost immediately. This forces the driver to repeatedly release and reapply the brake pedal in an attempt to regain front-end grip, while also trying to slow the car down. This constant modulation of the brakes makes the car unstable and reduces braking precision. In the second scenario, with ABS set to the maximum, the graph shows a constant disturbance throughout the entire braking phase, all the way to corner entry. Here, the driver overused the ABS, keeping the brake pedal fully pressed for too long, which cost valuable tenths. With ABS working overtime, it continuously adjusts brake pressure, but at the cost of reducing overall deceleration efficiency. In the final test, the graph tells a different story. With ABS set to a low value and proper braking technique, the driver slows down the car effectively without ever fully locking the wheels. This allows the front tires to keep rotating slightly, maintaining better steering control into the corner. A common misconception among drivers is that ABS activation under braking is a major issue or a big mistake. But as we've seen, that's not entirely true. The key is to avoid overly aggressive ABS settings and to use the right braking techniques so that ABS acts as a helpful tool rather than a hindrance. A smooth, progressive braking approach, using the trail braking technique, allows ABS to operate effectively without interfering too much. The real problem arises when a driver keeps braking at 100%, even at low speeds, and with the steering turned. In that case, ABS becomes overly intrusive, extending the braking distance unnecessarily and costing valuable time on corner entry.